Hola a todos, welcome back to Metafit Metamind Podcast, a podcast in which speakers, leaders, entrepreneurs, and influencers come in and share their journey on how they've gotten to this place in their life while also normalizing those conversations between mental and physical health and wellness. I am Carla Rodriguez, your coach and trainer of NLP and host of this podcast, and I created this space to remind you to raise your voice and share your story. And as your guide, I am here to create a pathway to let go of all those limiting chains behind and use this platform to empower and create awareness, purpose, and expansion in your life. You can follow us on Instagram at Metafit Metamind Podcast, or you can follow me at Coach Carlita. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Alright, so I have some updates for you that I haven't had in a while. So first, I want to celebrate the fact that I went to PodFest right now in January 2025. I had the opportunity to speak on stage for the Pecha Kucha event, and that is a 5-ish minute talk that really tests your ability to speak and deliver a message. And I spoke on rapport through the mic. How is it that we can build trust, unconscious connections through the mic, through your voice, not necessarily about what you're saying, but how you're delivering that, because people can tell when something is genuine or when something is BS. And so at the end of that, I was given feedback that it was amazing and that they could tell that I love it. And I do. I love speaking on stage. I love sharing a message. I love teaching. And if you're looking for a speaker, I'm going to just put it out there. Bluntly, maybe not bluntly, but confidently, I am available to speak at your stage and teach about communication, rapport, NLP, hypnosis. Let me know, because I can make it so special, so powerful, and I just love it. The second update that I have is that I'm still on the board of Women Without Limits movement, and I'm going to continue to talk about this organization. We have some events that are coming this year. So if you've been interested in volunteering for a nonprofit organization, we are here in Austin, Texas. So send us a message, send me a message to get information on that. And if you want to know more about that, go to womenwithoutlimitsmovement.org, where you'll find information about why you should join the movement, who this is for. We had Work It Awards at this last December, and if you want to donate to an amazing nonprofit, this is a powerful organization that a good friend of mine, Ashlyn Rondon, has started and is doing so much for, and I'm just so proud of her, and I will continue to say that. The next update that I have is that the next NLP certification cohort is starting at the end of March, and I'm excited because I'm going to be talking more about this, because communication. So be ready for that. That's the only update I have on that. And I think that is all for now. I have been working out. I have been CrossFitting. And right now, me and the husband started the carnivore diet, the lifestyle of just carnivore. And it's honestly really interesting how it's already curbed my appetite. I'm not eating as much. And so I'll keep you updated on what's going on with my health. I didn't do a test before, but I'm pretty good at reading my body and listening to my body and being aware of like how I feel. So yeah, that's just something that like more personal that I wanted to share with you. If you've done carnivore diet or lifestyle, let me know what you found the best, maybe some recipes that you had, because I'm still early on. We're just maybe 5 days, 6 days in when I'm recording this. So by the time you hear this, it'll be about 7-8 days since we started, but it's been good so far. I'm not complaining. At the beginning, the first 2 days, I was craving things here and there, but we are good. So that is all I have for today. So again, make sure to listen to this podcast. And of course, in this episode, it's a solo episode. So yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being here at Metafit Metamind Podcast. I am excited to have another episode in which you will have me, a solo episode. And there is so much that I can share with you. But one thing that I wanted to come in here and talk about is, have you ever wanted to sign up to something, to go somewhere, to attend some kind of conference or summit, and then you say, no, I don't know that I can do that. I don't know if I can afford it. Am I even supposed to be there? And let me tell you this, that when you show up for yourself, when you go to either a conference or a small workshop, that makes the difference in how you are moving in your life in your career, in your entrepreneurship. And that is something that used to scare me when I got into entrepreneurship. When I started networking, I would always question, should I be in that circle with these powerful people, with these powerful women? And I have realized that we are supposed to get into a room with people who have already done the thing. And we're supposed to also be in the same room with people who are coming after us as well. And we can all help each other out because each of us has a different chapter in this journey of how we're moving along and doing the things and succeeding and finding celebrations and success in different parts of our journey. I actually follow someone who I think is powerful. She is a woman entrepreneur. She makes money. She makes things happen. Her name is Cody Sanchez. And she shared not long ago a post that really is like, yeah, I know this. And it also is a reminder, right? Where she said, entrepreneurship is hard. You'll lose money and sleep and time, get sued and stolen from. But working a 9 to 5 is hard. You'll be underpaid, not promoted, under-challenged, hate bosses. All of it is hard. So choose your hard. And what that means is that in entrepreneurship, or let me go back, in the corporate job, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever that is, there's this ceiling that we get to that sometimes feels like we can't go anywhere else in that one organization or in that company or whatever that is. So sometimes people have had to do lateral moves where they go into another company so they can find another ceiling. And so how many times do you want to do this where you get to this level of hard of doing all of this work, of asking for permission, of not having the freedom and the autonomy to do life the way that you want to because you have to get someone's permission? It's like when I was in elementary school or middle school, we had to get a permission slip to go somewhere or a pass to go to the bathroom or to go down the hallway. There was no autonomy. And it almost reminds me of this, being in that 9 to 5, 8 to 5. And so when you get into entrepreneurship, it is hard. It is so challenging to the mind, to the body, to the spirit, to the emotions, to all the things. You have to have grit in this space. You have to have perseverance in this space. And I'm about to go back to the original thought that I had in recording this podcast, because one thing that you're getting from me right now, this moment, is something off the cuff that I really thought is important in sharing this message with you, right? And so entrepreneurship is where you get to break that glass ceiling, but you get to choose how far, how high, where you go, how much money you want to make, who you want to interact with, who you don't want to interact with, the freedom, the vacations, the time, your schedule. You get to choose your schedule, which is also another mind F, right? Where you have to still operate like the business owner, like you're clocking in to your job, but it's yours. It's something that you're growing for yourself because you broke the ceiling and now you get to just go as far as you want to. And so with that, having the freedom to have autonomy to do what you need to do to grow is amazing to have. So you get to go to these conferences, to these networking events, to these workshops that are so powerful. And you get to meet these people that I said that have already done the thing or who are coming after you, right? And I met so many people at PodFest in January. And no, this is not a full PodFest episode, although I did record an episode at PodFest and I didn't realize that my mic seems to have been muted or something happened to the audio. So I'll probably put like video clips here of me recording there because it was at the eCam site. And what I was sharing there is that so many things that happen in these conferences are that there's so much learning. But one of the most important things that happens in these conferences is the connections that happen, the collaborations that start, the friendships, the business ventures, the new motivation, the, oh, I can do this. Oh, I was about to give up. You know what? I met this person who is doing it so well, and I'm going to do it so well too. And I met people in so many different walks of life I met Yanira, who I'm interviewing here on this podcast, and she is amazing. She has a story to tell. You'll hear in one of the future episodes. I met Jenny Cohen, who I'm also going to be interviewing, and she was my roommate, and she's doing so many amazing things. I met someone in the elevator, and his name is Roy Kirshner, and we literally just spoke from the elevator and the first floor to the 8th floor, and he gave me so much resource, so much information in that moment. And after, like, the follow-up has been amazing. So thank you so much, Roy. You don't know that I'm highlighting you here, but you were definitely someone who really made me appreciate the connections and the power that happens here. I met Agnes, who she's going to interview me in her podcast, and I'm excited. And she's someone that we just connected in the Buzzsprouts party, let's say. It was a dinner thing there. And we said, I think we have to keep talking. I met Carrie Cott, who has a cabin in her state, and she does women's retreats. And she and I just kept crossing paths. And we said, you know what? You and I were meant to stay connected, and that's going to happen. And so when you go to these conferences, you learn from so many people. You get resources, you get connections, you get to practice communication and conversations and approaching someone, but also being approached too. And that is so key to growth, that someone can give you resources, they can give you feedback, they can tell you, hey, this is what I'm doing, maybe try it in this way, and it's in person, which you can do this online, and I love it. And I love podcasting because we get to share messages like this. And one of the key things here is to know that you are doing the best you can with the resources that you have. So if you're just starting out, start networking online. There's a lot of free networking groups that are being offered, especially right now since the vid. Go to Facebook groups, see what people are doing in there, have conversations in there, create connections there. I started connecting with people in this other website to get guests on this show, and I'm really excited about it. I get to talk to my mentors and say, hey, this is what I learned, this is what I'm doing. And I just am so in this space of, I can't wait to make this even more successful than I ever thought I could. I've always had this dream of making my business successful, but there was always something there lacking, and the confidence has been relit. The excitement has been relit. I've started a second podcast, to be more authentic with myself and to share with you another part of me. In case you're wanting to know, it's called Her Anime Universe. And it's something I'm so passionate about. I'm editing, right? I'm editing podcasts for other people, and I'm excited about that. So there's so many things that came from one single conference. And the amazing thing was that I got to speak there. I got to speak at PodFest, and it was just a magic, and I can't wait to do it again. And the last thing I want to share here is that when you go to these conferences, summits, meetups, whatever, go in remembering these 3 things. What is your intention that you're going to this thing? So think of the intention. How many people do you want to talk to that you think you can handle? If it's 5 days, how many people per day? And then the last thing is just do really well with the follow-up game. Once you're done with that, don't just say, all right, bye, it was so great to connect, and then y'all never message each other. Literally go back, message each other, find each other on social, on LinkedIn, on email, whatever that is, and keep that follow-up game. Because when you're able to do that, you know that it wasn't just a transactional thing that networking used to be, right? It's more of this connection and collaboration to grow, to help each other succeed, to share the word, right? To say, hey, I know someone that's doing that. Let me connect y'all together. Oh, you need an editor? Let me send you this person. Oh, you do coaching? You do NLP? Let me send you this. Or I can teach you this, or hey, Carla, I have a question about this. So it's those 3 things. What's your intention? How many people do you want to connect with or have contact with or communicate with? And then the follow-up game. Make sure you follow up. Some people would say follow up the next day. I followed up within 3 days just to give everybody the ability to all right, let's settle down. This is over. And I've still been doing some follow-up with some people. So those are the things, but get yourself into rooms. This is the most important thing for you to remember. Get yourself into the rooms that everybody's in with the same intention of growth, of success, of being like-minded, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whether it's mindset, all the things, yeah? And that's what I wanted to share for this podcast. It's very off the cuff, like I said, but I needed to share this. And I'm going to put clips, if you're watching this, I'm going to put clips of me recording the other one, but it'll just be my face and maybe a couple PodFest clips for PodFest. But like I said, it's not just about PodFest, although it's an amazing conference that I think anyone, whether you're a podcaster, not a podcaster, editor, just a regular person thinking about podcasting or just wanting to know more, that you can attend. And I'm just excited to be bringing this podcast back to life, bringing all the guests that are coming in. And let me tell you, I have about, other than Yanira and Jenny that I said that I'm bringing on, I have maybe like 8 people who are going to be on that you get to learn from, you get to be inspired from, that maybe you want to connect with as well. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to say for this one. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Until next time. Hey, if you haven't done so already, please share, rate, and subscribe to the podcast because it's going to help me so much to pop up on these platforms. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Metafit Metamind Podcast. On Facebook, go to the website metafitmetamind.com. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today. So thank you so much for listening to this episode up to this point. I am Carla Rodriguez. This is Metafit Metamind Podcast, where we are normalizing conversations that we would have never had. Until next time.